Such a beautiful interlude, Benny and Terry. Thank you. I was just thinking how August, this summer, the weather has been very strange. Yesterday, hot and sunny, and today, overcast and cool. But the one thing you can count on is the love and light right here at CSL-Tacoma. Okay. So, good morning. I'm Vicky Semones. I'm your host today. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Tacoma, those present in our lovely sanctuary and those joining us online. We thank you for spending this time with us. Our musicians today include the master of the keyboard, Terry O'Hara, virtuoso Benny Yangco on clarinet, and our special musician sitting in the back, Christina Brewer, with her expressive vocal gifts. Thank you. Above the lights, keeping our program on track, is our skilled audiovisual team of Erik Perrohe and Ronald. And tending to the inner realm of spirit in a different way are our wonderful practitioners. Laura Lee Bentle will be on platform soon, And Mona Williams is joining us virtually, holding High Watch or Consciousness. And today's message will be given by our ebullient senior minister, Reverend Drew Ebersole. We are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community. If you're here for the first time, we're so glad that you've chosen to visit us, and we'd like to acknowledge you being here. So if you're comfortable raising your hand, please do, so we may welcome you. Thank you for coming today. So I have a couple of announcements. Potluck. Today is the first Sunday of the month, and we like to celebrate community by having a potluck downstairs in Fellowship Hall after service at 11:30. So we hope you'll all join us to enjoy the food, the conversation, and one another's company. Now, this is an amazing first for CSL-Tacoma. We're hosting a music festival right here in the sanctuary called A Joyfull Noice. It's happening on the evenings of Friday, September 15, and Saturday, September 16, as well as Sunday after our service in the afternoon on September 17th. So for a very reasonable price, you can enjoy refreshments while listening to some of our area's best musical talents. And Drew will have more to say about this in a little while. So I want to invite you to look at the lovely programs for other announcements and events happening here. We talk here at CSL about prayer. We teach and practice a 5-step affirmative prayer that truly works. To experience it, join our practitioners in the prayer room at the back after service. And to learn how to manifest positive things for yourself, consider joining a class called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. It starts Monday, September 11th. If you're interested, talk to one of our practitioners. Is that true? After service today, or sign up online at csltacoma.org. Let's take just a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation, and it does happen, and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you to bring your dreams to life. We do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual principles, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and it can be a lot of fun, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. And now it's time for the minister's moment with Reverend Drew.
Good morning. All right, here we are. I just want to make a quick announcement first for those with younger people that we'd love to see. We are developing, fast and furiously, a youth and family program for all children to be here. And what we're going to be doing is getting a team together and working, and this fall it's going to be live and happening. So we just want you to know that it is on target. So hang tight. Little ones, if you want to, you can also spend a little time in the back room and hang out a little bit if you're a little antsy and there's some maybe elements to color on. We're working really on developing it because we know families and youth are so critical, and it's going to be burgeoning very soon. So thank you for being here, and know that it's on the way rapidly. That's great. Next, of course, we're going to talk about a joyful noise. The little things that are in your program. If you open up and pull one out, you'll see you have 3. First, I would like to know who is planning to attend the event. Okay. Woo-hoo! If you have your tickets, awesome. If you do not, The two amazing, beautiful, talented women in the back, Vicky and Cindy, also known as Salt and Pepper. You can guess which is which. They will be able to help you to purchase right on your phone. There are QR codes, websites, you can get it right away. We need to make sure we're selling fast, and we need to make sure everybody gets their place, and we need to make sure we have a room for everyone, because there's going to be fabulous wine and food and music, world-class music in our area. The second thing I just want to say again, which I'll say this time and next week before the event, is this is our chance. This is our time to reach out and share the news with the world. This is not about selling a ticket to an event. This is about reaching into our community and pulling them into a place that is loving, inclusive, compassionate, caring, authentic, genuine, here for everyone, universally accepting, free of dogma and judgment, open to everyone. And we need to take the mantle and responsibility to go out and reach out to everyone. In a message I put out, I said, your mailman, your dentist, doesn't matter. Hand these out. Talk to people. Encourage them to come, not just as a center fundraiser, but as a chance to help change our community. So take it very seriously and take those with you and put them out. For those of you new, you don't have to do this necessarily. We're talking to our longtime members, unless you're inspired to. But we'd love to see you there at the event as well. But let's take it seriously and let's spread the word. Put it on Facebook. Call people. In fact, we're going to be having a couple days coming up where we're just going to talk to people, talk to members, get them involved. People need to know we are here. It's our duty to let them know there's a place like this that exists. If we don't say it, they may not hear it. They may be desperate. Recently, I was recounting that I've gone through many iterations of people that were despondent, lost, desperate, and they showed up here and they found a path through. We provide that path. We provide a light to guide you on that path. And we provide hands to hold yours while walking on that path. That's a gift. That's a gift. So just know that this is our chance. We have 2 weeks to hit it hard. Let's be fierce, let's be good, let's be loving. Awesome. All right. We have a great class on prayer coming up from Bev Holland. Look at your program for that. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. What other announcements? Ty, anything else? Oh, we're going to pass around forms right now to have you sign up for the event and volunteer. Many of you have already done so. If you've not, just sign your name up, and Leslie and I will contact you and tell you where you can fit in. We need volunteers for bartending. We need volunteers for hosting. We need volunteers for setup and breakdown, all kinds of fun things. If you don't know where you want to go, just put down, use me however, right? There's a song called, Oh, Spirit, Use Me. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're just here to show up and serve. All right, gratitudes. These come abundantly every week. I have to sort through like dozens of them. It's really fun. So here's what we have. The first one is belonging here. Grateful for belonging here. This is a place of belonging. You know, Sue spoke a couple weeks ago about authentically finding community and how important that is. And that was a perfect point to bring up, Sue. A real, genuine, caring community. My CSL community. It's like I even guessed it would come next. The winds of change that I've recently experienced in our weather. The hint of autumn in the cool summer evenings. Ginger tea. Sunday morning walks with my bestie. I love bestie. The music at CSL. Yeah. Absolutely. The wonderful loving energy of CSL-Tacoma. My heart, which I know is beating at a regular pace. The squirrels in my garden, which teach me acceptance. The hummingbirds and their amazing acrobatics. My abundance. Stella, my miniature Yorkie. Christine, an elderly friend. Tara, my daughter. Therapy, my vacations. All of my clients. I'm grateful for the changes in the trees as we move toward the fall. And horses in the world. And Benny's clarinet. Health, resilience, support from my family and friends, the bounty and gifts I share, life and love. My spiritual family at CSL, a place to belong, increasing knowledge and faith with the classes I take, and the love in the world. So it is.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Bentle. I am practitioner on platform this morning, and I just want to welcome you. This place just warms my heart each and every time that I walk into it. And I'm wearing my drums this morning because the drum in the American Indian way of living is the heartbeat of your heart. So I wear that in honor of each and every one of you because in Kuspu'us, we are all one heart. And I'm so very grateful for that. So this morning I'm going to open up in a manner of meditation that Reverend Drew and I do on Thursdays starting at 7. And that is with the sound of the drum, with our bell. And I'm going to ring that, and I'd like you just to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just follow the bell. Just follow the bell until it subsides. And once it subsides, I will go into the prayer for the day. So thank you. Thank you. The sound of a bell, knowing that there is just one omnipresent, a divine being here right now, knowing that we are encompassed by a loving hand of God. And I use God just as a name. You can use whatever word is present for you today, for your higher power, for your divine intelligence, for your Prince of Joy. That's what's so beautiful about the Center for Spiritual Living. That your word for your intelligent being is yours. And with the love and respect that is here right now, and the words that Reverend Drew is going to share with you on love. Love is all there is. Love is a healing presence. Love is what the music that is going to be played and sung today from our angels, they are divinely gifted. And you will see and hear and feel the music as it's played. You are going to heal and feel the words that Reverend Drew has so divinely inspired. It is all in the present moment. I am so very grateful, so grateful to be here with all of you, knowing that in Kuspu'us, we are one heart. I give thanks, I release these words, I let them go, and let us say, and so it is.
So, this is going to be a familiar song to you, but then it's not going to be a familiar song to you. You're going to hear the tune, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I know that song. And you're going to be like, wait, hold on, those are not the words that I know at all. Because in February, I was getting ready to do the service right before Valentine's Day, and of course, the topic was love. And I was asleep, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I popped out of bed, and I said, holy cow, that song has new lyrics, and I have to write them down right now, because if I don't, they're going to be gone. So, I'm going to run through it the first time a cappella, and then we're going to fly by the seat of our pants. L is living out my destiny. O is owning my divinity. V is very, very extraordinary. And E is everything that I could want and so much more in love. is here for me to claim its truth. Love is visible in all I do. Trust in God, I'll make it. Open up my heart and take it. Love was made for me and you. L is living out my destiny. O is owning my divinity. V is very, very extraordinary. And E is everything that I could want and so much more. And love is here for me to claim its truth. Yes, love is visible in all I do. Oh, trust in God, I'll make it. Open up my heart and take it. Love was made for me and you. Love is living out your destiny. Yes, love is owning your divinity. V is very, very extraordinary, and E is everything that you could want and so much more. And love is here for you to claim its truth. Yes, love is visible in all you do. Trust in love, you'll make it. Open up your heart and take it. Love was made for me and you. Love is living out our destiny. Yes, always owning our divinity. V is very, very extraordinary, and E is everything that we could want and so much more. And love is here for us to claim its truth. Yeah, love is visible in all we do. Oh, trust in God, we'll make it. Let's open up our hearts and take it. Love was made for me and you. Yes, love was made for me and you. Oh, love was made for me and you.
I love you. That was absolutely stunning, my friend. Stunning. I love you. So, reading or two for you this morning. That is your legacy on this earth when you leave this earth. How many hearts you touched. Patty Davis. Love leaves legacy. How you treated other people, not on your wealth or accomplishments, is the most enduring impact you can leave on earth. Rich Warner. Thank you. Beautiful.
Such a good song. This is such an amazing song. Somebody asked me to sing it once, and I was like, it's familiar to me, but okay. And then I sang it, and I was like, wow, super powerful. I gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in a sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart would understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might finally see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Yes, love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Yes, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, it's our finest now. We can do anything, anything, if we keep believing in the peace. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Oh, love can build a bridge. And if you know it, sing it with me. Oh, between your heart and mine. Yes, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? One more time we sing. Love can build a bridge. Oh, between your heart and mine. Yes, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Bravo, bravo. So, love is for the way you... No, I'm not going to. I can't begin to touch that. I'm going to step away from that.
I was shocked when it hit me at 3 a.m.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about the legacy of the love. What it is, why it's so essential to who we are, and how we can do it every day. I want you to just take a moment right now and first, just look around this room. Look around at the people, the genuinely good, kind, compassionate people that are sitting near you. You don't have to do anything necessarily, just see them, right? Now I want you to think for a second about a moment in your life where someone did something simple, powerful, loving, gracious, forgiving to you, or you did for someone else. Just take a moment and recollect maybe a moment that was just floored you. Maybe just a simple act. And breathe it in for a second. Notice how those two things have made you feel right now. That's real. That's rock solid. That's what we call unshakable faith. To know that that's who we are inside and out. Love may not be, as Mother Teresa described so beautifully, we do no great things, only small things with great love. And I believe that's the key. Sometimes we think we have to do something huge when it could be something so small and powerful. So today, I have the great good pleasure of having my mom's youngest sister, my Aunt Diane, with us today. All the way from Pennsylvania. She'd never traveled out this part of the world and hadn't flown in about 20 years. And I convinced her through love to come on out and see our family and be here. About 6 years ago or so, she lost her husband. How many years was it? 8 now? Oh my golly. And she has persevered through love, and we have formed a really beautiful connection. But I want to tell you about a simple act of love that she shows to me. Not only was I a little kid at her house, her children and I are about the same age. They were my close cousins, and we would play nonstop, fishing on the beach, having fun through good times and hard times. At my grandmother's house, feeding us, she fed us oatmeal, which is mostly butter, sugar, and salt with a little oatmeal sprinkled into it. And she was very kind to me as a child. I'd stay over there at night, and she'd feed me and take good care of me. But an act of love that was so simple and so profound was, I was back east visiting, and she and I were on a 4th of July celebration, and we were out there talking together. And in a very simple, loving way, she helped explain a dynamic about myself and my brother that I didn't understand from her perspective, watching us grow up. And it was so clear what had happened. I was the youngest child, he was the middle child, and there was a whole little dynamic of things going on that I wasn't aware of. And she shared to me with a compassionate heart of honesty and clarity, and not sweeping it under the rug, but just saying it in such a loving way that I was floored by it. And it revealed to me the impact it's had is it strengthened my relationship with my brother. It allowed me to create a healing through an act of kindness and love and generosity. And I want to thank you for that, Aunt Diane, because it transformed how I perceive my whole relationship with my family. Small things, great love. Small things, great love. So, why is this so critical? Because it's from whence we are born. We are born from compassion and love. That is the essential nature of the universe. All anger, all fear, all war is not in a source in and of itself. It is a disconnection from that source of love. When we are not aligned with love, we are capable of doing things that are hurtful, detrimental, damaging, because we don't understand our interconnection and oneness with that love. When we feel that love, take a deep breath right now. When we're in the presence of that love, which is always, when we align with that love, we are good. We make wholesome choices, and we become that love. That is why we're here. To be that love. To live in that love. There's a ton of evidence around why it benefits us. But I'm going to walk you through a couple slides right now that break it down in a very scientific, for those of you that need scientific, logical explanation. Yes, Drew, this love is all good, but what does it really look like? What's the data? I'm about to lay it on you right now. So this is Dr. Daniel Friedland, a great researcher and an understander of the human brain and leadership. And what he did was he looked at when we are either reactive or creative. And here's the deal. In that middle pyramid are some elements I'll go over in a second. But on the left, this is our amygdala brain. This is our fight, flight, freeze brain, our lizard brain. It's the least evolved part of us. It's the most ancient part of us. It's reactive. It's survival all the time. And in that brain, we have 3 choices to any one situation, fight, flight, freeze. Not very creative solutions. Fight, flight, freeze. And when we are there, what we are experiencing is irritation or frustration, anger, hostility, and underneath of it is sadness, depression, shame, hopelessness, disconnection from that source of love. That's why we feel alone, despondent, desperate often. That's why people need to know about us here, because they can evolve into a better way of thinking. Now, in the middle, how we move into this part of our brain. This is our amygdala, our prefrontal cortex, the most evolved part of who we are as human beings. It is creative, ingenious, emotionally connected, logical, brilliant. This is our higher mind right up here. This is where love thrives. And you can watch in an MRI when people toggle between these two places. And I want you to know right now, you don't have to stay here all the time. You can't. We're human beings. We move back and forth. But with practice, with understanding, with patience, with perseverance, we learn how do we live here more. In a functioning MRI, which is a machine that can tell where the activity of the brain is in normal status, conversations, etc., you can watch when we're here and people start to love, they start to care, they start to share, and all of a sudden the activity moves out of the amygdala and into the prefrontal cortex. And when it does, we are alive. Think of this over here. When you've been in a situation where you've been fighting with someone, angry with someone, fearful of something, waking up at 3 in the morning, oh my God, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen there? How am I going to get here? How do we feel? How do you feel? Shout out a couple of words. Anxious. What else? Fearful, lost, small, shrinking, disconnected. When we feel safe, which is the bottom word that you really can't read, when we feel like we belong, when we have self-esteem and believe that we are good and natural and beautiful just as we are and perfect. You know, that was a big thing I talked to you often after my surgery, facial paralysis. I felt imperfect. I felt wrong, flawed. I let that all go. That was BS. And I learned to love myself, who I am. How can you love yourself? How can you improve your self-esteem? And SA is self-actualized, where you're in that place to realize it's okay as it is. There's a phrase that my aunt reminded me that we use all the time. It's everything in the universe is unfolding perfectly. We don't have to get in the way of it. We can relax. When we do this, we move into this creative prefrontal cortex. And here we are happy, joyful, enthusiastic. We are peace, calm, serenity, content. Now here's the kicker. We're single processing units, meaning we can only think and feel one thing at a time. So what 2 words? So all of this and all of this boil down to 2 words. What 2 words are they? Underneath this one. Yeah, perfect. You guys are an A student class. Everyone gets an A today. What word is under there? Love. That's it. Whoops. Hold on, we'll get there. It's a big reel. Hold on. Tech crew is working. Yay! See, it's exciting when you have to wait for it, right? It's like anticipation. Fear and love. We can only think and feel one thing at a time. You cannot be fearfully happy. You can't be joyfully angry. It's not possible. When you're afraid, and fear is the source of 100% of aggression, anger, and war, all of it. Because that's where it spawns from. It's like a mother bear, really loving creature, but if you back her in a corner, she'll kill you. Why? Not because she's hateful or mean or awful, because she's terrified. So all these people in power that look so powerful, they're all scared. They're scared of losing power. They're scared of dying. They're scared of not understanding something that's greater than their minuscule power, which is L.O.V.E. That is the greatest force in our known universe. Full stop. Believe it. Know it. Preach it. Love it. Be it. Because when we are here, anything is possible because we are aligned with our source. Can I get an amen? Amen. That's right. So, one more slide. We'll get there in a second. Almost. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hang on. Yay! Fear and love. This is our choice. This is what we have to think about constantly. Fear, love. Now, are we going to fall down? Yes, we're going to fall down. Should we beat ourselves up for it? No, don't beat yourself up for it. Come back again and again and strengthen that connection to your prefrontal cortex, to your heart, to your spirit. And when you do, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And soon you are a mighty warrior for love. That's the real deal. The health benefits are ridiculous for this. Longevity, improved cardiovascular function, reduction in aging process, improvement in immune response, staving off chronic adult onset disease, staving off dementia. In a study in Harvard they did on longitudinal happiness, the connections you have, the love you have in your life is 0.7 on the research scale for well-being and happiness long-term. 0.7. That's stronger than the correlation between smoking and lung cancer. It's that big of a deal. The love you create, the love you experience, the love you share becomes the legacy of your life. This is like stringing pearls together. It's like understanding we do all these small things with pearls and we make this legacy of love. I've had so many people come back to me. Let me tell you a quick story. CJ is a great teacher. And she didn't think about it and didn't know all the things she did. She just did what she did with great love. And many stories have come back to us about the impact she's had on these children. And one in particular was the woman that we know that said her granddaughter was experiencing suicidal thoughts. Maybe not going forward with life, maybe not knowing what to do. And suddenly, she said she credited CJ's art class with propelling her into a better way of life. And she's now thriving in college. Small things, great love, where you don't even know what's possible. Okay. Mother Teresa also had another quote that said, if you want to make the world a better place, go home and love your family. You want to make the world a better place, go home and love your family. And I think that's important. And guess what? Your family can be anything you want it to be. It can be your friends, your neighbors, our community, all of it. Those you care for dearly. Doesn't matter. Make your family who you choose to be your family and boldly claim it right now. So how do we do this? We understand there are small examples of what we do. I'm going to tell you 2 quick stories from the legacy of love of my parents in my life. When I was in 2nd grade, I did something on the back of a school bus one day that was pretty innocent, but was not exactly acceptable. And I was in the back of the bus, and there were some other kids there. And I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of did it. And it was not good. I'm not going to reveal exactly what it was, but just know it wasn't great. And I didn't know. I didn't understand what it was. And I went home that night, and it was no big deal. And the next day, I got pulled out of class by the principal and sat down and reamed for what I had done, just yelled at for what I had done. And it was all like sinking in. I didn't understand it at all. And I went through that day ashamed and scared and lonely and unaware of what was going on. And my teacher wouldn't look at me. And that day when I went out of class, she normally, it was back in the day when it was more acceptable, she gave everyone a hug goodbye. And I came up for a hug and she put her hand out like this. And I was shocked. And I didn't know what to do. And I remember feeling kind of like pale as I walked to the bus, got on the bus, went home. And I went home and my mom said, just go to your room, Andy, which was my name then, Andy. Go to your room, Andy. And I went to my room and it was like sitting on death row for a little second grader. I didn't know what was going to happen. She goes, your father will be home in about an hour. Well, that hour for that age was like a year. And I sat in that room, and I just thought, this is the end for me. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even really understand the impact of my actions. Well, having very good ears at the time, I listened. I could hear the door open with my dad come in. Hello? And hear my mom mumbling, talking. And then I heard the steps of my dad coming up to see me. And I was just beside myself. And I sat there in my bed, and I watched that door as intently as I've ever watched anything. And that door opened slowly, and my dad walked in. And he looked at me, and he got on one knee, and he said, come here. And he held me for about a minute, and he said, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. And I just sobbed and melted into him. And then we had a good talk about it. What did you learn? What did you see? What will you do and not do again? This. And it sunk in so deeply that it became a hallmark of my life on compassion. That was the most compassionate thing. Yeah, I'd already punished myself extraordinarily. I didn't need anyone to hit me anymore. And then afterwards, I saw and I felt, and I wrote a note, and I said, I'm sorry. And some years later, I found out that he went and talked to that teacher, and he said, this boy is a good boy, and he didn't do wrong. You hug him after class. And she did, and it was forgiveness, and it was beautiful. That's a small gesture. That man could have decided he would yell at me or berate me and could have put me further into shame and guilt and fear and anxiety that might have set a tone for my life. But he chose compassion at the highest level. I'll share another story with you. And this story is meaningful today, especially because today marks the 3-year anniversary today where my mother passed away. Both my parents passed away within a year. So I'm telling you a story in her honor and her memory today a little bit. But another legacy of love that she left me. I was in 4th grade. And at the time, I had like a little gang of friends that we called ourselves, and this is in Baltimore, so this is how synchronous the universe is. We called ourselves the Seahawks. Who did that? I lived in Baltimore. I didn't know anything about Seattle. I never even heard of Seattle. And I loved the logo, and we called ourselves the Seahawks. And we all played ping pong after school, and we had fun and played pool and had a good time. Well, there was another group of kids that were a little more troubled. I know that now. They were living in fear and anger, and they wanted to have a fight with us, a gang fight. Well, every kid dropped out of my club except for me, and they singled me out, this group of like 3 or 4 boys. And they said they were going to hurt me really bad. And they punched me in school. And for 2 weeks, they told about how they were going to have this big gang fight. It was the strangest thing for 4th grade. And I was very scared and didn't know what to do. Well, the day of the supposed fight, I went home and went all around a different route to go home to be safer. And it was the weekend. And I thought, okay, I made it this weekend, but what's going to happen on Monday? Well, here's the kicker. This was so fascinating. My parents knew about this, and they were doing all they could to intervene and help me. But that coming Monday was Valentine's Day. Now, for Valentine's Day, many of us used to make little cards. Did you ever make little cards? And my card, my signature card was, I put a little card together, and I put a stick of chewing gum inside, and it said, I'm stuck with you, Valentine. That was my little thing. I'm stuck with you, Valentine. So I made those with my mom. I can remember it clear as day. I'm sitting at the kitchen table. She's cooking. We're talking. I'm writing all the names. She have the little class names, and I'm writing all the names. I'm stuck with you, Valentine, da-da-da. And I came to a list of those 3 boys in particular that were in my class. And my mom saw me, and I was just staring at that list of names. I didn't know what to do. And she came over, and she just sat down next to me, put a hand on my shoulder, and she goes, "Are those the boys?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "What do you want to do?" Not reactive, don't write them a card. Not judgmental, not suggestive, asking the question. Asking the question, "What do you want to do?" I said, I don't know. Should I write them a card? And she said to me, "That'd be a good idea, Drew. That'd be a good idea. Why don't you write them a card?" And she patted me in the back and went back to cooking. Simple. I wrote them a card. I go into school next day with my little package of cards, and everybody one by one got up and handed them around the class, and I'm watching, and it's my turn to get up and hand them around the class, and I get up and I hand them to kids, and I hand them to every kid, and I come to these 3 boys, and my little hands are shaking, and I walk over to them, and I give them a card. And the leader of it stood up and looked at me, and he gives me a hug. And he said, "Thanks, man." So my mom could see that they were just hurting, that they were from an area that was hurting in their lives. Who knows what they'd gone through. And that card mattered. And I'll never forget that boy's name, Robbie Stashow. And he said to me, he became my best buddy after that. And he and I were good friends, and he watched out for me, and he kept an eye on me because I was a little guy, and he was a big guy. And he loved it that someone loved him through a card. And my mom could see that. And so I say this today because, we think of her often, and my aunt's here. My surrogate mother is a very touching time for me, and I realize the legacy of love that lives on in your life. Think for a moment how you can simply do things for people, love them, love yourself, love others, and create a legacy of that love, align with the source from which you were all born. I'll leave you with a final quote. It's Leo Buscaglia, and you may have heard it before, but I want you to hear it again if you haven't. Too often, we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. Because you have no idea the power of your loving kindness to change people's whole existence. It is so big and so powerful and so beyond our understanding, it is infinite in its power to transform. So go forth. Share and give. Receive and offer that love as freely as the air you breathe. And if you do, we will create a world that truly lives in harmony and love. Bless you. Thank you.
I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Beautiful, Christina. Just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, my friend. I love you too. May we have the ushers come up, please? We need you to survive in love and joyfulness. So now if you join me in the offering prayer. God, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you so much. That was absolutely stunning. And I was watching a little one back there sitting probably in grandma's arms and just looking at you, Benny, with such awe. It was just a beautiful sight, just beautiful. So thank you all for being here today on this beautiful Sunday, the first Sunday of September. And I just want you to know, most of you know that I'm a woman of acronyms, right? So Drew, when you were talking about fear, fear are just false expectations appearing real. So when you walk over into love, that's when you're just going to leap in, you're going to open up, you're going to value each day with enthusiasm. Right? So let's live in love today. So I encourage you to go out there and just remember the beautiful people in your life that have loved you unconditionally. I was thinking I was the Blue Supremes in 3rd grade. So close your eyes and let's just go in and just remember the words today, knowing that a loving, caring, compassionate, joyful Creator is here right now, enveloping us in the love that is unconditional, that we just take in, knowing that all the ill feelings, all the hurts and the aches and the pains and the sadness that we may have, that they can be lifted. And they are lifted if you walk into the love, knowing that there's hope. There's hope. We're hearing other people's experiences, just being there. Just being with others is a bright spot. So thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful, and I release these words into the beautiful universe of love and law. And with that, I say, and so it is. So please join us downstairs after we stand and sing our beautiful song, Release and I let go.